And this is the end of the trail coming from Central America or wherever they're coming from. This is where it ends. Right here, just across that trail right there, that's Mexico. This is the Colorado River. They just wade across this short way. It's very shallow. And once they step their foot right here, they've made it to the United States.
You're basically looking at a highway.
I'm going to take you somewhere now, though, that you don't get to go very often. And as a matter of fact, it's a place that I've never been before on election night. It says staff only. We're going into the actual war room of the Doug Ducey campaign. So let's go in here right now. The first results have just come in. You can see here we have Cindy McCain is here. The governor is up here in front. We have men and women who are manning computer screens.
It was about getting the raise through our legislature. I'm thrilled that we were able to get the raise through the legislature. And that's, you know, and this is...
AP just called this race? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Hey guys, thank you.
Then we're going to attach the hook back from the aircraft to you, and we're going to extract you off the mountain. You can see
there are 3 arresting cables stretch across that area the jet has to hit. This is 3, this is 2, and then 1's down here. The jet's trying to hit number 2. Let's see how this guy does.
KSAZ anchor Troy Hayden is live in Phoenix with the latest. Troy?
Well, the psychologist on the stand today was testifying about one of the biggest problems for Jodi Arias in her defense. It's her memory, really her lack of memory, right?
Hi, Troy. Jodi Arias. It's Cindy. I just wanted to let you know, a deal is a deal kind of thing. So I regret saying that, but I'm a person of my word, so I'll keep our deal.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm going to interview Jodi Arias just minutes after she was convicted, and I'm thinking about what I'm going to talk to her about, and I'm wondering what her mental state is going to be. I mean, she just found out that she may be put to death by the state. Arias could now face the death penalty, and moments after learning her verdict, she told me she prefers death over life. Because of her statement, she's been put on suicide watch by Sheriff Joe Arpaio. So you're saying you actually prefer getting the death penalty to being in prison for life?
Yes.
After the verdict, Jodi Arias gave an exclusive interview to Fox 10's Troy Hayden. The whole country was riveted.
Joining me now is the reporter who scored that interview, Troy Hayden. Troy, congratulations. I mean, it's an incredible get.
These tight passageways were formed millions of years ago, never seen by human eyes, until a group of underground explorers dug their way through and found something nobody expected. And we'll show you that in a minute. But first, let's get back into the deep recesses of this cave.
Get your butt as low as you can on here and then take the other foot down. From there, I just jump down.
Ooh, how was that?
I know personally for me, it's been a long morning. It's been a morning, though, that I think was fitting for the man, and I'm still trying to come to grips with the fact that John McCain is no longer in Arizona. It's called decompression to avoid getting the bends, which in extreme cases can be fatal.
All right.
You can see the extra tank I'm carrying under my left arm. One of 3 gases we'll breathe on this dive. Our first view of the B-29, the huge tail, 2 stories high.
It's so huge. Being up next to that tail.
Pretty intense down here. You're wearing a lot of gear, and you're in a very small space.
John and Kerry is probably one of the most recognizable landmarks in our whole metro area, Camelback Mountain. And looking down, well, that's not productive at all. Fear is part of the rush for these climbers, and I definitely feel it. Even though I know the safety line will keep me from falling all the way to the ground, a slip for me will almost surely mean some sort of injury. And from personal experience, I can tell you as you walk down this sidewalk, you have kind of an uneasy feeling because you know what you're about to see. And so then you actually walk inside the death house. This is the witness room. And that's why when Fox 10 photographer Eric Corrales and I became the first news crew to enter this unit in nearly a decade, we were fit with stab vests.
We're worried about your safety first and foremost. On this yard, it's a level 5 yard, so we have not the average criminal here.
So when you hear, say, one side saying that they'd like to wait till the next president is in office to appoint a justice, what do you think about that?
I don't agree. I think we need somebody there now.
You think your dad's proud of you?
I think he is. Yeah, no, and he certainly really likes what's happening, so I'm sure he is. So.
going to level 2. The inmates have no idea we're coming.
As the team I'm with moves into place, a second team readies itself to enter the cell block from the opposite side.
Stack it up, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go.
So here we go. I'm going over. This is where it gets a little hairy. So
Hold on. Do we have a good insurance agreement with Rupert Murdoch over this? Are we covered? Are we good?
Yeah, Troy.
That's a nice thought. If I go over the edge.
I just wanted to tell you.
You know, we've all watched those protests all over the country after police officers are accused of shooting people who aren't armed. But what would happen if one of those protesters felt what it was like to wear a badge and then be put in a life or death situation himself?
So I'm going to have you put the holster on right inside your belt loop there.
Jarrett Maupin gets his weapon. You might recognize him as a high-profile organizer in the minority community. Just last month, he led marches on Phoenix Police headquarters after an officer shot an unarmed man.
We want his badge. We want his gun. We want his job.
Today, he accepted an invitation to look at things from the other side, agreeing to go through a force-on-force training session with the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office. 3 scenarios where you have to decide to shoot or not shoot. Scenario 1 is a call about a man casing cars in a parking lot. Maupin approaches the man and starts asking questions.
What? Where you have your hand in your gun?
You're looking for your vehicle. What kind of car do you drive?
Where you have your hand in your gun?
What kind of car do you drive?
This is my car, man.
Oh. Maupin, the officer, is shot. It happens that fast.
At what time did you think that it was time for you to address the use of force that was given?
When he came to the back of the vehicle, and was hiding. You know, I could sense something was wrong.
Scenario 2, a call of 2 men fighting.
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What's wrong with you?
What's going on today, gentlemen?
What do you want?
What's happening here?
What's wrong with
Back
you?
up.
Huh? What are you doing, man? Hey!
Hey, he shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me. He shouldn't approach me.
What happened in there?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You just shot him?
Hey, he rushed me.
Tell me why you shot.
Well, I've shot because he was within that zone. You know, I felt there was an imminent threat. I didn't necessarily see him armed, but he came clearly to do some harm to the officer, to my person. It's hard to make that call. It shakes you up.
Again, an unarmed man was shot. Scenario 3, a call about a possible burglar walking down the street. Maupin gets him on the ground. He's not complying.
I need you to keep your hands up, sir.
For what?
Because I need to check that waistband.
Well, why? What are you doing,
Because I don't know what you have under there.
Everybody, look at this guy. What are you doing?
No shots fired, but the suspect did have a hidden knife in his waistband. I went through the scenarios too, without seeing what Maupin did.
So, do you have keys, or do you have anything to show me that?
Don't worry about it.
No, I need to talk to you. Come on out over here. Well, I'm dead. Maricopa County Sheriffs, get on the ground. Get on the ground. Both of you, get on the ground. Get on the ground.
For what?
Get back. Get back.
Same results for both of us. Things happen very fast out here. I asked Maupin what his biggest takeaway from this exercise will be.
I didn't understand how important compliance was, but after going through this, yeah, my attitude has changed. This is all unfolding in 10 to 15 seconds. People need to comply with the orders of law enforcement officers for their own sake.
Thanks to the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office for taking us through that today. It was an eye-opener.
That's a tremendous admission that Reverend Maupin just made.
Right.
That you need to comply for your own safety.
Right, and he saw it. I mean, he plainly shot a man who was not armed but was coming at him, and he felt, that he was unsafe at that point, that he was coming after him, and he fired.